What is up, YouTube? Doomwake here. Welcome back to another modern video on the channel. As always, before we continue, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. And with that, let's go ahead and kind of dive right into it. So, today we have a deck that actually top aided the challenge this past, it was Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which challenge it top aided. But we have a 4-color Elementals deck. The first time that I saw this deck, I want to say it was Canister who was streaming it, and it looked pretty powerful. There's definitely some things I like, a lot of things that I like about this deck, and with the recent success of it top aiding the challenge, I figured I would go ahead and showcase it off to you guys. So, as you can see, more Modern Horizons 2 goodness. Today we're kind of going, I guess not off the deep end, but we have a lot of these pitch elementals. So Solitude, Fury, Subtlety, and Endurance. These are the ones that you can exile a card from your hand to play it for free, and then when it comes into play, you sacrifice it. The best the best card that you can combine with these cards is Ephemerate. So what we're doing is we're utilizing the synergy of the Blink Elementals with Ephemerate. So you can go, like, let's say, for example, your opponent has 2 creatures in play. You go Evoke Solitude with the trigger on the stack, Ephemerate it, comes back into play. You now get to kill 2 things, but your creature stays in play because you're responding to the Evoke trigger. So the original Evoke trigger, well, it resolves, but the creature has left the battlefield and come back in, so it won't sacrifice itself. So we're utilizing that synergy along with kind of the elemental shell, Flamekin Harbinger, which lets you search for an elemental and put it on top. Combination with Risen Reef is pretty powerful because what you can do is you can play Flamekin Harbinger with the Risen Reef in play, and you can stack the triggers so that you can put an elemental on top and immediately draw it, or vice versa. If you want to look for a land, you can resolve the Risen Reef trigger first, then the Harbinger trigger. So you get a little bit of play there. Unsettled Mariner, which is a card that kind of sort of protects your elementals from removal spells, makes it so they have to spend 1 whenever they go to target your elemental. Voice of Resurgence, very powerful against decks that are trying to play on your turn, specifically control decks. This deck is kind of a nightmare for control because you have Cavernous Souls and you have Voice of Resurgence, both of which are just incredibly powerful against counterspells. And then we have the full 4 copies of Omnath. This is, I'm sure that everybody knows Omnath by now, excuse me. Just an incredibly powerful card. When it comes into play, draw a card, and then every time you play a land, you get a certain ability. Particularly powerful with fetch lands because you can play Omnath, and then immediately in the same turn, play a fetch land, fetch, and get the mana right back from Omnath, so it's essentially a free spell that turn. So very powerful effect. And that's why we're playing so many fetch lands over here. And then we have the sort of the fifth the fixed Omnath as the 5th Omnath, Locus of the Royal. Again, it's still a pretty good card when you have a bunch of elementals in play because you can shoot something, and then get some additional landfall triggers with that. And then we have just sort of like kind of tutor targets, as you will, because remember we have Flamekin Harbinger, so we can play sort of a toolbox package, which is why we have one copy of Endurance. So this is sort of our tutor package, as it were, so we can get Endurance against Graveyard Hate. We can get Revel Arc if we need to get creatures back from our graveyard. Let's say our opponent has a Sweeper. So that's kind of cool. And then Foundation Breaker against Urza Saga. Pretty good card. And then that's the main deck. Again, mana base, pretty straightforward stuff. Just some fetch lands, shock lands, 4 copies of Cavern, because again, we're playing every creature in our deck is an elemental. And then 2 copies of Territory. The reason you don't see the full 4 copies is because we need to make room for a fetch shock mana base so that we can power up our Omnath sufficiently. So that's why there's not the full 4 copies of Unclaimed Territory, which you typically see in tribal decks. And then the sideboard, kind of more of the tutor package when we want to bring that in. So Foundation Breaker and Endurance. There are matchups where you want 4 copies of each of these, like this against Urza Saga, this against Graveyard decks, so that's kind of why we have those. We have Fulminator Mage for Tron. Again, just kind of all around, just a good card to play with Tron, especially you have Harbinger to go find them. Another Revel Arc for the control matchups, decks that have Supreme Verdict and things like that. And then another Fury and 2 copies of Subtlety. Subtlety for the Amulet matchup, and then Fury for just your creature matchup. Whenever you need to kill multiple things. And then Kahira is our companion because every creature in our deck is an elemental. The one thing that I will note, you'll notice we have a lot of pitch cards. The really cool thing about these pitch cards is when you're playing 4 copies of Omnath, conveniently, Omnath pitches to all 4 of these. So that's how we kind of get away with meeting the color requirements to play all of these pitch elementals and even more copies in our sideboard. Like if you look at combined between main and side, we have 16 of them. We have the essentially the full 4 copies of each between main and sideboard, which seems like a lot, but again, Omnath kind of ties the room together because it pitches to all 4 of them. So that is kind of everything I wanted to go over with the deck. And without further ado, let's get into some games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 1. Alrighty, YouTube, we're back here for round number 1. We went ahead and won the die roll. Let's reveal our Kahira. Looks like our opponent also has a companion. 60 cards, so no Yorion. Luris is the most common, and that's what they do have. Okay, alright. So this hand has, we go turn 1 Foundry, turn 2 Territory Voice. And then if we draw a white card, we can have Solitude plus Ephemerate. This Fury's kind of far away, but I think this hand's a keep. I think this hand seems fine enough. So we'll go ahead and play Sacred Foundry first. Take less damage, perhaps. Go ahead and pass. The awkward part about this matchup... Oh, they're playing Mill. Okay. Interesting. I don't know how the Mill matchup is. Probably not great. But I'm just going to go ahead and play a voice. Hopefully, the nice thing about this is we don't turn on Archive Trap because we're not fetching. Hopefully they play a second crab, and then I can just go Solitude plus Ephemerate to kill both crabs. Yes, that is ideal for us. And they're also kind of incentivized if they have a Fatal Push. They're incentivized to Fatal Push the voice right now. I guess they can't push this anyways, but they're incentivized to do something on their turn, which means they don't get to hold up mana to interact with my Solitude plus Ephemerate. And I have a pretty good feeling if I get to kill both of these crabs. I think I would not mind our position. There's also a world where I Fury and Blink the Fury. I wonder if that's better. Because the Fury does hit harder. You know what I mean? Because this clocks them for 6 a turn, so this would put them to 18. I wonder. Because either way, I'm pitching the Omnath. I feel like Fury is probably better. I mean, the lifelink on this doesn't matter, and this is just a much faster clock, so let's go ahead and cast this. They probably should respond to the spell and not the trigger, because if they respond to the trigger, we'll go 3 and 1. And now if they respond to the trigger, I can respond to their fetch. Yeah, this is why I think they should have done it in response to the spell being on the stack. Because now I get milled for 3 less cards. So this one is 3 to the right and 1 to the left. So now we'll do 3 to the left and 1 to the right. Yeah, so 3 here, 1 here. Let me just make sure. 3, 1, 1, 3. Okay, that works. So then the fetch resolves, this thing will mill me for some, and then this will die after the trigger. So we got 3 less cards out of it, which is not bad. And then I think I'm still just not going to fetch. I'm not going to turn on their Archive Trap. I guess maybe fetching this turn would be okay, because if they want to trap me, I get a token from Voice. So maybe incentivizing them to cast the trap is good. I'm not sure. This thing is just still a 3-turn clock, though, so... Yeah, they have another crab. Fetching main phase. So we're on 15 cards in the graveyard. Mesmeric Orb. Okie dokie. So we'll mill 2 off the orb. We'll go to 17 cards in graveyard. Now the question is, are we casting Ephemerate? 3, 6, 7, 8. I actually think I'm not, because... This is really close, because if I cast Ephemerate on Fury, I'm not attacking for 6 this turn, and I have a 2-turn clock anyway, so there is some consideration to not casting Ephemerate here and just clocking them for 8 and forcing a chump block next turn. But I do give them Crab for 1 more turn, which is, 6 cards at the max. This is close. I think I'm actually supposed to not cast it. Also, beneficial for me to not cast it because if I draw a white card, I'm just going to kill this with Solitude and then have a 2-turn clock. So I think I'm just not going to cast it. I think it actually makes sense. Okay, did not draw a white card. All right, no, I'm not gonna fetch right now. Just attack for 2. I assume they're not blocking. Nope, so they go to 8. Pass. I gotta see what fetchables do I have. I'm not. Let me just double check here. So breeding pool, forest, fountain, plains, foundry, vents, garden. So 7 total fetchables, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 3 fetchables left. I just want to make sure I can hardcast this if it comes to it. I don't have a basic though, which is awkward because they're gonna Field of Ruin me right now. Oh, actually, no, yeah, because I can't get a basic. Man, I only have 2 basics, right? Yeah, it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. So if they Field of Ruin me and I had a basic in my deck, I could float a mana, let it resolve, get the basic. They're casting Drown right now instead of Field. Well, it does shorten my clock by a lot. I wonder if they were supposed to let me untap first because they just missed a card with the orb. Because I had mana up for Ephemerate anyways. Oh, but I guess if I Ephemerate, then I had a million extra card off the Foundry. But what if I don't have... Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, because of the voice. Okay, sure. Yeah, the voice makes sense. This is super awkward. Because I can choose not to fetch. Oh, also last turn I chose not to put Kahira in my hand because of the orb. I don't think it was worth it, but maybe it was. So the awkward part is knowing they have Field of Ruin means that I kind of have to cast Solitude. It's worth 5 cards off of the orb, but I don't really see myself being able to kill them in time if it's just voice. So my options are mill 3, like pay 3 for Kahira, and then 3 and 3, which is 6 on the orb, or just cast Solitude and it's 5 on the orb, which I think is just better. It's not quite lethal next turn though, because they go to 6 and then I only have 5 damage. But I think that's what I have to do. Obviously, this is horrific if they have Archive Trap, but because that's 13 cards, that would put me. I have to fetch twice too, right? I'm gonna get the Steam Vents because Windswept Teeth cannot get the Steam Vents, and if they have Archive Trap in response to this fetch, I want to make sure I leave myself with the most amount of cards too that this gets. Now, obviously, if it's a disaster if they just mill over both fetchables, but I'll do this, cast this. Well, so now I'm milling 6. Milling 6 off of the orb, which puts me down to 20. But I don't really see myself winning this game if I don't play the Solitude. Because then I'm basically on the hook for at least 6 off the crab anyways. And I'm tapping 5 by casting the Solitude, so I end up just saving... Essentially saving a mill, you know what I mean? Saving 1 card. I'm milling 5, but I'm on the hook for 6 off the crab. Because they had the field in play. Crypt Incursion. Wait. They messed that up, didn't they? Did they target themselves? Yeah, that was a mistake. Whoops. Oh, I forgot that we had that card in our deck. Well, I should probably cast that now while they don't have Drown in the lockup. That was a really fortunate draw step. I guess they maybe didn't realize how Crypt Incursion works. We're very lucky and drew the Endurance. Again, I'm casting it now while they don't have Drown up. I forgot we had endurance in our deck. That's pretty lucky. Alright, your turn. Well, this game would have been a little bit different if they. Well, the game would have probably been over if they had just Crypt Incursion me, but I'm not willing to go back and count how many creatures I had in my graveyard, but. Still is only 8 damage, so we don't quite have lethal next turn. We shuffle the planes back in. I'm in. Now what do they got? Fatal Push? Fatal Push the Endurance and then a 2-turn clock? I assume that's why they were field of ruining me now. Yep, makes sense. 5. Excuse me. So maybe this matchup's good after post-board when we have 4 copies of Endurance. Flamekin Harbinger not the best against Mesmeric Orb. I'm just going to hold up Solitude. In case they play a crab. I totally forgot that we had a main deck Endurance. That's funny. Oh man, that's great. Hedron Crab resolves. Blue-black. Drown in the Loch. I should probably respond to that because they haven't played a land yet. And just Solitude the Crab. I'm responding now because they can't play a land in response to the Solitude, you know what I mean? Whereas I just give them 3 cards if I don't do it in response. Okay. Endurance. Definitely get in my deck. What else do we want? Subtlety doesn't seem great. Obviously, we're not going to bring in our Kahira. Fury is okay. Revelark is kind of okay too. Foundation Breaker kills Mesmeric Orb, and they probably have Ensnaring Bridge. I don't know if I want 4 copies, but I do think Subtlety is quite bad. I think out of the elementals, I think Subtlety is my worst one. Now that said, I don't know if I want 4 of each of these, except for Endurance, obviously, but... So this is at 66 cards right now. So I did say that Flamekin Harbinger is terrible in this matchup. Just because, like, you play it, you put a card on top, and then it always just gets milled away. So maybe I should just cut Flamekin Harbinger. Is that weird? I don't want to. It's not really worth much in terms of pressure. It's a 1-1 that gets bricked by Krebs anyways. And I just don't really see the value of putting a card on top of my deck when it's just going to get milled over. That being said, I don't know that I want 4 copies of Breaker. So maybe we go like this, this, this. I think 2 Revelark, even though it does have utility in the sense of being able to get cards back from your graveyard that are milled over, it's still just really slow, and you do kind of have to clock them. This one could go too, I guess. This kills crabs. I think it's not too bad. I think I'm going to go with this and see how this goes. Alright. Game 2, Kahira time. Any endurances? No endurance. Well, that's unfortunate. This hand also just kind of sucks. We don't really have any good early plays with the exception of Fury, but I'm going to ship it. Yeah, this hand is dope. I think I'm putting back Fury. Yeah. Just because I have the Endurance rolled up, and I have 2 voices, so I can just go like Cavern into voice, and then... Man, Cavern Endurance in this matchup is... something. Something. I don't want them to know I have the Cavern, and I also don't want to fetch yet. Even though, again, I don't really care if they archive trap me because I have Endurance. It's just kind of something I don't really need to get into yet. I could breaker that, but I don't really need. Yeah, no. Okay, that was a really good draw because now what I can do is I can play voice, and then next turn, if let's maybe they play a second orb or just give me in general a target for a second target for breaker, then I can just go evoke, ephemerate, kill both their things. Soul Guide Lantern, I guess, is their oh boy. Soul Guide is their anti endurance tech. All right, so we'll yield to that. And the nice thing is that they fatal push, then we get a token off voice. That actually wasn't the worst draw either, because then we can endurance. Yeah, that was actually not a bad draw. I'm gonna get Temple Garden. And let's go evoke, which they can't counter. And then we'll go target an orb, trigger on the stack, ephemerate it. So we'll let that trigger resolve. Always put the evoke trigger on the stack first. I would like to use the ability. Then I'll ephemerate the breaker. They can fatal push it, but again, we get a token off of the voice, so it's not too bad. And we just get both of their orbs. I don't mind this play at all. And now they can't play another orb because we just have ephemerate breaker. And we have the ephemerate in our hand. So if they play a bridge, we can just ephemerate the breaker after. And we also have hardcast endurance up. Okay, maybe after sideboard, this matchup is a nightmare for them. I'm beginning to think that that might be the case. Alright, they do have crab and some fetch lands, which is not bad for them, but they're on 3 cards. I guess they're probably just going to go fetch, Lurrus to hand this turn. Makes sense. Yep, that is what they're doing. Unless they have Crypt Incursion. If they Crypt Incursion me, then I'll just Endurance in response. I end up losing the Endurance, but that's okay. That's the best part about all this, is I just don't have to cast the Endurance until I'm, like, close to dead. Drown in the Lock. Sure. That's fine. I don't mind that. I don't really see a reason to cast Ephemerate, so I won't. Just going ahead and attack for 2 and play another voice. Yeah, I don't really need to. I can slow roll the endurance for a little bit. No reason to play it right now. They're at 12. We now have a 3-turn clock, which is pretty good. Pass. I could have also put Kahira in my hand instead of play voice, but I like putting the additional pressure in there. Cycle Visions. Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, well, that's not a bad draw. Because I can't play Endurance right now. They're targeting their own Delta. I guess they want to target their own stuff because of Visions of Beyond. But now if they let us untap, we can just chill, and we can get to a spot where we go Endurance, target ourselves. They Soul Guide us in response, and we respond to the Soul Guide and ephemerate the Endurance. So, oh, I meant to attack. Whoops. Give him a whoops. Alright, that was awkward. I went to... I tried to attack with both my creatures, and apparently I just hit F2 before that. Small little mishap there. Fractured Sanity. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm probably going to cast the Endurance. They're going to Soul Guide me. I'm going to blink it. I think it's worth casting now, especially with the second Ephemerate. Yeah, I think it's fine. Alright, I click through my attack step and it probably doesn't matter. Oh, I guess they can just respond to the Endurance cast, which they should have done. Yeah, I guess this was bad, because they just responded to the Endurance cast. Which they should have done, but I also missed that. So I guess what I should have done is maybe not cast it? I don't know. I mean, this puts them on a 2-turn clock. I don't know if it matters too much, but this would have been a little less awkward if I didn't miss the 4 damage. But anyways, opponent's just off it. Yeah, I don't know. This matchup seems pretty easy after sideboard when you get 4 endurances. So, yeah, that was a cool match. I hope you enjoyed the games, and I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 2. What is up, YouTube? We're here for round number 2. We're playing against Spike. We're playing against Spike. What do we got? I got a voice. I got an ephemerate. I got a subtlety. Sand's not great. I think I'm going to keep it, though. Just going to message him real quick. I think I'm going to keep the sand. See what he's got. He's playing that black-red Luris deck, I think. Looks like we're getting Thoughtseized. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm going to let that go, I think. I think that is fine. Just got 6. See what he is up to. Bobble me. What did he see? He saw a subtlety. Alright, Heath go. Just pass. We gotta beat Spike to get the trophy lead back. We've been having this little back and forth on my stream and his stream, where we're just kind of trying to see who gets more trophies. He pulled ahead in the race a couple of days ago, and I gotta try and take the lead back. So is this a Dothy Voidwalker? It's kind of unfortunate because it makes my voice pretty bad. Am I really subtletying? If subtlety ephemerating this? I think I'm not. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can draw a solitude. I'm gonna let that go. I really need to find a solitude like right now, though. I'll just get Temple Guard in. I should have fetched in response to the Voidwalker, but Revelark. Also not great against Voidwalker. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I think I'm gonna get Sacred Foundry. No, I'll just get Hallowed Fountain. His voice does not look very good in the face of a Dothy Voidwalker. Because now if they have a discard spell, they probably just take Ephemerate. Yeah, that sucks. This is not good. Could have got a basic there, I guess. Maybe that would have been better. Could have also gotten, like, Hallowed Fountain Basic Forest. Also probably would have been better. Take less damage. I imagine he's taking Ephemerate. Because the rest of my cards don't really do anything. My hand's kind of bad right now. Took Omnath. Okay. Okay, I can live with that. I have to discard Subtlety because in order for me to win, I need to find Solitude. And so I need an extra white card to pitch to Solitude. They're gonna get the Revelark? Oh, the Omnath, right, okay. Sure. That's still beatable if I draw a Solitude. That's not a Solitude. Alright, I guess I'll play it out. I don't think I can win this game anymore, but... Alright, your move. This matchup seems pretty bad. You have a bunch of cards that 2-for-1 ourselves, and... You have a bunch of 1-for-1 discard, you know what I mean? Not the spot where you want to be in a matchup like this. I guess I'll take my block. Kind of have to. It's not great, but... Alright, I've seen enough. I have seen enough. Alright, game 2. Don't really want Endurance or Fulminator or Kahira. Foundation Breaker, no. Subtlety, no. I don't really have any good cards in this matchup. I guess I need Fury, because it kills Dothy Voidwalker, and that card is a big problem. Foundation Breaker shouldn't have any targets. And then probably cut the Endurance for Revelark. I guess I could keep Endurance so I can target him when he has, like, Luris going, but it's kind of marginal. I don't really like Subtlety, though. Like, I don't really like subtlety or endurance in this matchup, but I have to keep 2 of these cards. So it's like, what is the least bad of these cards? Not really sure. I guess it. I guess maybe it's just endurance because this is the easiest one to cast, and it gets Croxa too. Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe I actually want a third because of Croxa. Just cut with the second Revelark. Revelark is pretty bad against Voidwalker too. Okay, I'll just play 3 endurance then. I think that's okay. Alright, we're on the play. Play for game 2. Need a better hand. Okay, so this is Flamekin for Voice. Turn 2 Voice, and then if we draw a land after that, we can Reef. I think I'm going to keep this. It's pretty important just to keep a hand with 7 cards in this matchup because their deck is just all discard spells. Yep, we'll get a... I think I'll get a Voice. I guess I could get a Fury. No, I'll get a Voice. Or do I want to get Mariner? I wonder if Mariner's actually better than Voice in this matchup. It is better if he has turn 2 Voidwalker, because if they have Voidwalker, you can just kill Voice and I don't get a token off of it. Alright, I'll get Mariner. I don't know if that's right, but... Ragavan. Surprised he kept Ragavan in after he saw Flamekin Harbinger. And I'm in. I am in. Block. Still blocking. Land. Okay, we drew a land for the Risen Reef, which I think I am going to play. Okay, your move. We're chilling. Everything's fine. We have good blockers for Ragavan. Lightning Bolt, targeting the Risen Reef. Okay. I accept. So now he can't kill anything with Mariner. That was a good draw. Alright, so let's go. I guess I might as well play the Mariner first, right? So white, blue, Mariner. Oh no, I got rid of my white card. Crap. Okay, that was bad. I should not have done that. I didn't realize I didn't have another white card. That was really bad. That was a reason not to play Mariner first. That is tragic. That is tragic. And he has Turok. Yeah, just got mega punished. I probably win this game. Oh, okay. Well, I can't. I don't. Oh, never mind. I don't discard cards. That is acceptable. Okay, never mind. So I need a white card. All right, go to 10. Let's just untap. That'll do too. All right, cool. So pitch this. That's actually probably better for me. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Question is, do I even want to ephemerate it? I could just let it die and play Risen Reef. Maybe that's just better, actually. I think that's better. I should have also played Risen Reef first. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing this game. Roxa. I'll discard the Ephemerate, I think. That's fine. Alright, Luris the hand. And I can't wait for the YouTube comments on this video. I played this game pretty badly. Alright, attack with everybody. He's gonna lure us. We can just hardcast Solitude. We both made some mistakes. We'll say that. Hopefully we can get a better game 3 if we do go to game 3. Mistakes were made from both parties. Okay. That is acceptable. Alright, so trigger on the stack, I'm going to fetch. Get a forest. We'll go here, this. I do have to discard the Mariner, but that's not too bad. Sure, Rebel Arc, huh? Okay. Now what? I guess now we're just chilling. Elemental. And this thing has protection from white, so I probably can't attack. I can start attacking with the Revelark next turn. So they're going to Lurrus and Voidwalker. Alright, Lurrus Voidwalker it is. If he's attacking. Let's see, I can just double block if he attacks. Oh, that's a good draw. Alright, red, green, white, blue. I will do the reef first. I don't know if it matters. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Let's go. I'm just gonna kill the Lurrus now, I think. Okay, put that into my hand. We'll kill the Lurrus, gain some life off the Omnath. We'll shove with the Rebel Arc. Alright, he's had enough. He's had enough. Alright, we get to go to a game 3. We both made some mistakes that game. We'll say, mistakes were made. We'll say that. Say the mistakes were made. Going into game 3, I still think subtlety is not where I want to be. I like endurance. I think the one Revel Arc is good to tutor for. This looks good. Let's try this. Game 3. Alright, here's a Kahira. Oh, no. No. Cavern and 6 spells, huh? He kept 7. I think this hand is just too bad. Gotta ship it. Fury, Endurance, Mariner. This hand is also really bad. But I don't think I can afford to go to 5, especially in a matchup like this. So I'm just going to put back this. Alright, your go. Ragavan. I don't have the Harbinger, unfortunately. So... I just get Temple Garden. So I should play this one first. Because Winston Heath can get both basics. This is not good, though. Not good. Right. Takes the Mariner. We have no play on turn 2. Let's get... I guess I can get Breeding Pool Plains. No, I'd rather just have more white sources in play for Ephemerate. Okay. That is a way out of this, potentially. Alright, pass a turn. There's a good chance we just hold up Endurance on turn 3 to try and block Ragavan. Oh, also notably, he missed a land drop. That is definitely good to know. Voice. Ugh. Oh, that's so bad. Because now I have to main phase my Endurance. God. Oh, he's going to Thoughtseize me? Okay. I wonder why... Oh, because you're the yeah. Now he can just take Omnath and then cast Omnath with Voidwalker next turn. Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, this card is really, really good against us. Really, really good. Just because we have a lot of high impact, like 5s and 4s and stuff like that. Well, he didn't play the voice, so now I can just pass. So we know he has Fury. I will still happily take this trade if he wants to attack with Ragavan. But he probably has something, some removal spell. He has Turok. Man. I think I have to cast Endurance and just hope that we keep the Omnath. Yeah, hope that we keep the Omnath and then draw land. Well, no, did not keep the Omnath. Oh no, he can just Fury me too. Yeah, alright. I've had enough. Yeah, this matchup seems kind of bad. Yeah, I don't know. Really unfortunate. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 3. Alrighty, YouTube, we're back here for round number 3. We lost the die roll, and we have no lands. Okay, go ahead and mulligan. See if we can recover from that last loss. Pretty unfortunate. I don't know how good that red-black deck is. A lot of people have been playing it lately. I'm kind of not sold on it yet, but it seems okay. Alright. Keep this, put back the worse Omnath. And we can go turn 1 Harbinger, potentially getting... Oh. Tron, huh? What do I even have in my main deck to get that's good against Tron? I guess Subtlety? Is that it? Yeah, I think so. Maybe Foundation Breaker? Just in case they play a Chalice. Or I can just get Risen Reef. Yeah, I don't really care about Chalice. If they Chalice on 1, yeah, I'm just going to get Risen Reef. Yes, get Risen Reef. I could get Subtlety. And maybe that's better. But them knowing about the Subtlety and me not having Ephemerate. Alright, they're playing Eldrazi Tron, it looks like. Yeah, I don't care about this Chalice. I mean, it shuts off Ephemerate, but that's it. And now I can actually play Unsettled Mariner, which means they can't Thought-Knot Seer me because they have to pay an extra 1 for the trigger. So that's kind of cool. Back for 1. Next turn we can Risen Reef, maybe turn after we can Omnath. They can make a 2-2 here, which means we probably can't attack, but that's okay. Ooh, that's not a bad draw. So let's get a basic Forest, I think, just to preserve life total a little bit. And we can still cast Omnath with any land. Blue green. See if we can hit a land off of this. We do. Okay. Now we could potentially Omnath into Solitude. Let them make a Saga token, that's fine. I'm not going to Solitude anything quite yet. Because if I draw a fetch land, I can just I can hardcast the Solitude off of the Omnath mana. I guess they could maybe get a Needle. I don't know if they have Needle main deck. They can get a map. Probably just get a map to complete Tron, right? Just like float a mana, get a map, tap the mine, sack, get power plant, have 5 mana. I assume that's what they're going to do. We shall see. Oh, Construct? Construct I can beat. If they had like map into Karn, that would have been tough to beat, but I guess they might just get the map anyways, and then complete Tron next turn. Yeah. I mean, I'll just take 4. That's fine. Could Solitude it now, but I'd rather just Solitude the untapped creature and get in some damage, right? Because I'm going to probably end up Solituding anyways, even if I don't draw a fetch land. Like, I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, I'm just going to get a basic plains, then play Omnath. Red, green, white, blue. Do the Reef trigger first. Okay. So now any land would do it? That's not any land. However, I could Solitude right now, and then if I draw a land, I get mana off the Omnath. That's pretty good, I think, right? Let's do that. Because I get a Risen Reef trigger this way. Target this. That's tough. Still get to attack, though. It's not too bad. Pretty bad if they have All Is Dust. All Is Dust is definitely a card we don't want to see. Maybe Karn, too. 5 mana. That we can beat. That I can beat. They're attacking? That is aggressive. That is aggressive. Subtlety was actually a pretty good draw. So I think we should Risen Reef first. So let's go blue, green, white. Cast Risen Reef. Do this. This into play tapped. Always heal to the Onmath trigger. I'll take that in my hand, thank you very much. I wonder if I just want to kill the construct. I just don't really care about the Smasher. I kind of want to just kill the construct. We go to 21, take 8, go to 13. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I really don't care about the Smasher. I just want to attack. Okay. We have mana now. We have a cast Foundation Breaker. I mean, obviously this is horrifically bad if they have All His Dust, but I don't really think I'm beating All His Dust anyways, so. Mental. Yes. Alright, no All His Dust, please. We even have Subtlety up if they have Karn, so we can maybe even beat Karn. Actually, we will beat Karn, so we can just Subtlety it. All His Dust is the one card we probably can't beat, but let's hope they don't have that. Looks like they do. Wait, this Ulamog? Emrakul? Oh, they didn't float the right mana. Oh, opponent. They did. They could have obviously floated the right mana, but now I'm just gonna Subtlety this. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate because they could have just paid for the thing. Even if they paid for the Emrakul trigger, I just Subtlety this. They can Suicide the Omnath into the Smasher, but then my board is still pretty good. I mean, I don't think they're winning that game unless they have All His Dust. So, all right. Probably want Fulminator. I think Endurance is bad. Fury seems. The only awkward part about Fury is it doesn't really kill Smasher, and so I guess it kills Thought-Knot Seer, Matter Reshapers, whatever. Probably kills Karn. I don't know. It's okay. Breaker's good. Like these cards are good. Subtlety is decent. I think Fury might just be not where I want to be. Endurance is bad. And just max out on Subtlety and Solitude. Those are definitely my two best ones in this matchup. So we're maxing out on Breaker, Subtlety, Solitude. The Rebel Arc is whatever. Yeah, cut Voice in this matchup. I want to keep Mariner because it pitches to both Subtlety and Solitude. And it's also somewhat decent against Thought-Knot Seer and Curve. So let's cut Voice. I think I'm down with that. Alright, I'm not sure if this is the right way to sideboard, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. I think I actually do want to keep the Harbingers. Even though they have Chalice, we have Cavern of Souls, so. What does this hand do? This hand has a turn 3 Mage. We have a turn 2 Breaker as well, if they have a Chalice or something like that. Alright, I'll try this hand. I'm not in love with it, but... And if we absolutely need to, we have Subtlety. Even though I don't really want to Subtlety anything this early. Okay, the Ephemerate's actually a decent draw. So now we can go Misty Pass. They're probably just going to go Tron Piece Go. Ooh, Saga. Okay. I wonder if that means they don't have Tron, or they just really want to make some constructs. But now I just get to break at their land. That's why Breaker is so sick in these matchups. I guess I'm going to get Temple Garden? No, I should get Hallowed Fountain, right? I want to get a white land. Even though I have plains, I just want 2 white sources for Ephemerate. So... Temple Garden, I think. I'm not sure which one's right. Oh, Temple Garden was actually bad because then I couldn't cast Fulminator. I should have not gotten Temple Garden. That was the worst one to get. But thankfully I drew a land anyway, so it didn't matter too much. So they're going to pop the map, get a thing. But yeah, I definitely should have gotten not that land. Because this did not allow me to cast Fulminator Mage. But now I can get Sacred Foundry, and we're okay. So they search for Power Plant, which means usually you want to blow up the one they search for. So we'll do that. Blow up this one, pass. The next turn we can go, depending on what they do. Oh, they had nothing? Okay, so I can just go Risen Reef plus Harbinger. Blue, green, this. Get a card. They could dismember it now. Maybe playing this was bad because now they can dismember this and I don't have Ephemerate up. Okay, we'll just draw. We'll get a card off the reef first. All the subtleties. Alright, well, they're on 1 land, so I'm going to get another Fulminator Mage. That's how that works. And you can proceed. Yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to play Harbinger that turn. The awkward part about not playing Harbinger is if I... Oh, they should have responded to the Harbinger. If I don't play Harbinger this turn, I can't Harbinger plus Mage the turn after. So I think it was still right to play the Harbinger. Because now I can just Fulminator them and hold up Ephemerate for Harbinger to get another Fulminator. They chose to dismember the reef. They definitely should have done that last turn while I was tapped down in response to the Harbinger, but... Alright, I'm going to blow up their mine. They're going to get a land, that's fine. Yeah. I think I'm just going to Ephemerate it now. No, I actually should upkeep the Ephemerate in order... Because if I do it now, and then I Ephemerate it again, I only get 1 card out of it, right? I guess also they could just have another Dismember. So maybe Ephemerating it period is just bad. Yeah, I guess I'll just wait. I'll just attack and play a Mariner. Because we have Subtlety up too. So like what we can do is we can actually just play Mariner, pass. If they play anything too scary, we can Subtlety it, Ephemerate the Subtlety, upkeep, Ephemerate, blink the Harbinger, get Fulminator, and then cast the Fulminator. Warping Wheel to make a 1/1, that's fine. Yeah, so hopefully whatever they do this turn, we can just go Subtlety plus Ephemerate, and then on the rebound of Ephemerate, get Ephemerate the Harbinger, get another Fulminator, yada yada. Alright, well, I'm still not going to act because they could dismember and pay the 1 if I target the Harbinger, so... But again, with 3 copies of Subtlety, I feel pretty far ahead. Oh, I guess they can trade here. Is that even that bad for me? It's not, right? I don't think it's that bad for me. Alright, blue, white. Just gonna keep passing. Again, no reason to really do anything. If they have Dismember, they actually had to act now. Now I could safely Ephemerate because they don't have a third mana source. Well, they do, right? They have the Scion, but... Blast Zone. Okay. I can always just blow that one up, right? What are they gonna do? I mean, we can just chill. So I could end step Ephemerate this, but they can respond, sack the Scion, sack the Blast Zone to kill this. Do I care about that? Just like double Stone Rain them, and they take 4 and go to 7, and then I still have Subtlety plus Ephemerate the turn after. I mean, this kind of forces their hand, right? They have to pop the Blast Zone, because if not, I'm just going to get a Fulminator. Oh, they let it resolve. Alright, well, I'll get a Fulminator. I thought they were going to pop the Blast Zone there. Maybe they just can't afford to, but they're like if they let that resolve, they lose a land either way. So I'm not sure. Maybe they would just obviously they a little too far behind at that point. But yeah, I don't know. This matchup seemed. I thought we were gonna get kind of stomped game one, but we ended up. I don't know. That was weird. That was a weird game one, and then game two we just kind of just Fulminator locked him out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 4. What is up, YouTube? Back here for round number 4. We are 2-1. See if we can keep it going. Ooh, mana base is not cooperating this game. If either one of these was a cavern, I would probably snap keep this hand. Or just a cavern, a territory, just that fetch land. As is, I mean, we can still cast the Mariner, and we do have. We don't have a red card for Fury. I was going to say we have Fury plus Ephemerate, but. This hand is close. I do think this hand is close. I think I should probably still mulligan. Like, what's best case scenario with this hand? I mean, drawing Solitude to be pretty good. Drawing a red card's pretty good. Opponent kept 7. This is close. Let me know in the comment section below if you would keep this hand or not. I think I'm going to mulligan, but I think it's really close. Okay. Alright, this hand's a little bit better, I think. Back to Misty. I mean, this hand just has lands and spells. It doesn't have any of like the fancy stuff going on with Ephemerate, but Yawgmoth. I feel like Yawgmoth should be a good matchup because we have Solitude plus Ephemerate. Not sure though. We'll see. Fury also really good against them. Fury also really good against them. Wonder if we're gonna take our 2 for 2. We probably are. Let's see what we draw. Let's get a white source for Ephemerate. Let's get Temple Garden. Temple Garden first is generally well, no, it's actually not that good. I don't want to get more out of the Fury. Like if they play another creature this turn. The only issue is they can Yawgmoth me if I wait. So if I Fury now, empty board, then maybe they can Yawgmoth me 2 turns down the road. Alright, I think I'm going to Fury here. I think it's good. Well, 2 for 2. Do that before playing the Voice. Am I playing Voice or am I playing Mariner? I think I'm actually playing Mariner, right? Yeah, Voice doesn't really do much. And Mariner's good because they have to pay additional mana if they start targeting your stuff with Yawgmoth. Now, obviously, when they're going off, they target their own stuff. but actually, I think Zulaport Cutthroat targets. So I don't know. Does Messenger target too? I wonder if they can actually beat this card. Hold on. Gerald Messenger. It does target. Well, there we go. We learned. Okay, so Messenger targets. How about Zulaport Cutthroat? Zulaport Cutthroat. No, Zulaport Cutthroat says each opponent, so that one does not target. Okay. Drew a Flamekin Harbinger. So that can go and get Risen Reef, and then I can just hold up Solitude. Or I can just Solitude now to prevent them from casting... What's the card called? Eldritch Evolution? Because if I Flamekin Harbinger, I know that I'm not putting an Ephemerate on top, and then I can just try and start like drawing some cards with the Risen Reef. This is tough. Because what I could do is not cast the Solitude this turn, just play Harbinger, get the Risen Reef, pass. Next turn, play the Risen Reef, and then play the Solitude, which is actually probably better if they just have Yawgmoth in play, because then I get to kill the Yawgmoth, which is what I wanted to kill anyways. Okay, yeah, so let's just go... I don't actually need to fetch because they have the Urborg. So let's just play this, get Risen Reef, and then next turn we can play Reef and Solitude. And I'd rather Solitude a Yawgmoth than a Messenger anyways, so I think this makes sense. And I don't want to cast the Voice because I need a white card to pitch to Solitude. Alright, I'll take 3. This kind of feels like they have Eldritch Evolution, which I think is okay. So they're going to Evolution, sack... No Evolution. Young Wolf. Young Wolf pass. Okay. Alright, let's lead on Risen Reef. Green, blue, this. Let's always yield to it. Another Mariner. I think I'm just going to pass. I don't even think I want them to block with the Young Wolf, just because it kind of upgrades it a little bit. Then they have like a reasonable beatdown plan. I just need to find an Ephemerate. Once we find an Ephemerate, this game is pretty easy from there. But I'm just going to hold up Solitude in case they have Yawgmoth, because that's definitely the scariest card. Alright, fetch for Dryad Arbor. So that probably signifies Yawgmoth. Question is, can they kill me? So if they have Evolution, what they can do is they can go land, 3 mana, Evolution, sack Messenger, get Yawgmoth, Messenger comes back, they don't pay the mana, then they go sack Dryad Arbor, counter on Mariner, pay. No, because then they can't do it, because then they go sack Young Wolf, counter on Mariner, pay, Mariner dies. But yeah, then they can't kill me. Plus, I have the Solitude anyway, so I think we should be good. I don't think they can really kill us this turn, unless I'm missing something. Okay, Court of Calling for the full amount, which I will let resolve. I'm going to get the Yawgmoth, and then they're going to pass. Okay. That is fine. I'm going to untap first, because I kind of want to wait till I see if I can find an Ephemerate. So I'm going to go Solitude, pitch, Voice, and I'm going to put the Risen Reef trigger on the stack first, before anything. Or I'm going to resolve this first, because if this draws me into Ephemerate, then we're good to go. So they're choosing to... They're just going to draw a bunch of cards? I guess I could respond to the Yawgmoth sack. Which maybe I should do. Yeah, okay. I should have done this in response to the first sack, but this isn't too bad. Because if I don't respond, they get to draw a bunch of cards. Maybe I just don't care about them drawing a bunch of cards. Not sure. Alright, so evoke trigger. This is targeting Yawgmoth. Resolve the Reef trigger. So they're going to do that. That's fine. And then they're going to sack Messenger. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Reef trigger resolves. I guess they're going to draw another card. Alright, Mariner to hand. Solitude trigger resolves. Evoke trigger resolves. Undying resolves. That comes back. That has a counter. This trigger resolves. Let's go evoke. Target the messenger. See if we can hit an ephemerate. Foundation breaker. Not the best. But we killed their whole board. Or most of it. Now we'll play a mariner. Get another trigger off the reef. Now we find the ephemerate, of course. Of course. Not that I'm complaining. Just a little bit, but... no attacks. We are chilling. Again, this matchup seems like it should be pretty good. Now that we have double Mariner, too, Mariner really weakens the what's the word that I'm looking for? Not prevalence, but really weakens Yawgmoth's potential. Because it's really hard for Yawgmoth to kill any of your creatures with a Mariner, especially multiple Mariners. And if Yawgmoth isn't killing your creatures, like, yeah, they can draw a bunch of cards, but as long as you keep them off of Yawgmoth, their deck is fairly anemic, so... Sure. Okay, do I want to ephemerate the Flamekin Harbinger? Yeah, I think so. Let's get basic planes. And I think what I'm going to do is resolve the Reef trigger before deciding what to get with Flamekin Harbinger, because that's going to inform my decision. Okay. So now I'm going to get Fury, I think. Yeah, let's get Fury. And then we're going to ephemerate the Harbinger, resolve the Reef trigger first again, put the Fury in my hand, and then I think I'm just going to get Endurance. So I'm going to kill these two with Fury. I could also just get another Reef. Yeah, getting another Reef is probably fine. So let's Reef. Green, blue, this. Put that in my hand. Put that in my hand. Fury Pitch Omnath. 2/2. Put that in my hand. Put that into play. Kill your stuff. And no attacks. Alright, you may proceed. What you got, opponent? Once we've gotten to this stage of the game, just kind of up a million cards. Like, our opponent drew 4 cards off the Yawgmoth, and we still have 5 creatures to their 1, and we have twice as many cards in hand. They have more lands, but, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They get a Yawgmoth. Yeah, I mean, they can draw their deck, but they well, not their deck, but they can draw a bunch of cards. They can't kill us with Mariner, though. So I don't really know what their end goal is after they draw a bunch of cards, you know? So we can let this go. Then I can go cast Harbinger. Probably just get another Fury. So I guess they're gonna respond to this. No, okay. So I'm gonna do the Harbinger first because I want to put Solitude in my hand, or excuse me, Fury. Right, Fury. Yeah, I guess Fury just kills the Yawgmoth. Sure. So then draw the Fury off the reef. Okay, draw the Fury. Draw the Ephemerate. Ephemerate's actually kind of gross here. Alright, let's play a land. I gotta think of the best way to sequence this. So the reason I played Harbinger first is I was trying to find an instant speedway. So now I guess I can Harbinger. I can Harbinger for Solitude? No, that's not really that good though. This is awkward. Because if I cast Fury, right? If I try to kill the Yawgmoth, they're just gonna respond and draw a bunch of cards. It's actually a little dicey. So maybe I should Flamekin Harbinger first? Really not sure. Just get Solitude. Yeah, I think that's kind of the safest play. Because Solitude is instant speed interaction. Because that's really all I'm missing right now. It's just an instant speed way to interact. And if I draw a white card off of this, it's really good. Because then I can go Fury pitch this, and then have Ephemerate plus Solitude up. So there's almost no way I can die. I say no way, but, you know. Alright, get Solitude. Put Solitude in my hand. So they're going to do this now? Sure. Sure. I'm just going to yield to all this. Yeah. Because if I don't yield to all this, then we'll be here for a while, you know. They're just going to draw a bunch of cards anyways, but I'll probably pause the video and then come back when they're done drawing cards. All right, we're back. Opponent has decided to draw, what, 9 cards? 8 cards? Something like that? I don't know. They drew a lot of cards. Cool. So now we can go Fury, pitch Omnath. And then they can hold up Solitude plus Ephemerate. I'm just going to kill the Yawgmoth with the Fury. Make sure I don't deck. That is like a reasonable consideration. Another white card. Put that into play. Alright, they let the Yawgmoth die. And I will just pass. I think. Alright, you can go. We'll kill them at our leisure. As long as we have Solitude plus double Ephemerate up, it's going to be pretty hard for us to die. Maybe I should have Ephemerated the Fury to kill the wolf and at least kill half of the Geist. Maybe that would have been good. Kind of wanted to save the second Ephemerate for the Solitude, but I guess they can also respond to the Solitude. Right, so let's say I go Solitude, pitch Mariner. They respond to the Solitude on the stack and do some stuff, but if they do some stuff, I can then respond, Ephemerate the Harbinger, get another Solitude, pitch the other Ephemerate. So, I don't know, I think it's okay. String Geist is fine. Green, black. Yawgmoth Sackgeist. Or Evolution Sackgeist, sure. Get another Yawgmoth. Right. So now, the thing is, they still have to kill these Mariners before they can kill me. Because they can't get Well, actually, no, that's not true. Remember, because we said Zulaport Cutthroat doesn't target. Okay, I can let that resolve. Alright, untap. They only have 1 mana, which means they can't kill the Solitude in response to me ephemerating it, so I'm going to end step Solitude Pitch Mariner. I'm going to target Yawgmoth. Okay, so they're going to convoke X equals 2. So this is where they try and go for Zulaport, so I'll respond. Blink this, get the 4th Solitude, draw the Solitude, kill the Yawgmoth. Right, okay. So we'll get Solitude, draw Solitude. Another white card would be good here. Alright, no such luck. That's fine. As long as we're not dying, that's all that matters. I shouldn't F6. Because I can also hit a another Ephemerate off of this. There's the white card. And that's the 3rd Yawgmoth? Okay, so they only have 1 left. We're out of Solitudes, though. And we only have 1 Ephemerate left. Let's see if we hit the Ephemerate off of this. So we can blink the Solitude. This has been a long game. This is only game 1, by the way. Alright, so they're doing some stuff with Yawgmoth. Okay, that's fine. Can let all that go. It's not too threatening. I mean, honestly, they might just be dead on board. I mean, they're going to gain 2 life off the Yawgmoth, I guess, but might just be able to attack them with everything. Find an Omnath, we can probably just dome them for 4, which almost certainly gives us lethal. I guess they have some undying creatures. They have a couple blockers, but we'll see. See what we draw. Oh, we can even just, because we're getting another Ephemerate, we can just Ephemerate, Harbinger, get Omnath. That's just a guaranteed 4 damage. So we should be able to come up with a lethal attack. Alright, they're drawing some cards. They're drawing some cards. 20 minutes in, game 1, huh? Sheesh. Sheesh. Alright, forced into play. Solitude resolves. Evoke. This dies. Cord for 2 resolves. They get Zulaport Cutthroat, most likely. Another Geast. Okay, let's go target this Geast. Subtlety, okay. Voice, okay. That dies, that goes away. They're at 11. Now they have to discard. And now we can Ephemerate, Flamekin Harbinger, get Omnath. I feel like we should be able to kill them. You have to worry about decking. A little bit, I guess. Alright, Ephemerate the Flamekin Harbinger. We're going to put the Harbinger in the stack first, because I know I'm going to get Omnath. Assuming I have an Omnath left, right? Oh, I also have Revel Arc, but nothing good in the graveyard to get, so we'll just get the Omnath. Okay, Omnath. Territory, name Elemental. Honestly, I just might time out of this match. Alright, green, white, blue, red. Omnath. Let's do Risen Reef triggers first. Another Omnath. So land, and play tapped, gain 4 life, draw a card off the Omnath. Then we can go fetch, Steam Vents. Tapped. Mana off the Omnath. So I have no fetchables left, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have a breeding pool, right? Yeah, I should have a breeding pool. So now I can go second Omnath. Oh, that was dumb. I don't know why I did it this way. Keep the new one. Yeah, it was kind of stupid to do it this way, right? Because I didn't get the trigger, so I should have fetched first. Because the whole point was to get the 4 damage trigger again, but I didn't do that because I didn't fetch first. 12 cards in deck. Hmm. Go. Oh, I actually did mess this up pretty bad, huh? Let's play this. Dome them. So they go to 7. Hmm. Yeah, this was actually pretty bad. Yeah, I messed this up. I definitely messed this up. Okay. Endurance is not too bad. We're at 7. I'm just going to attack. I just need to get some damage in. Then I can pass with Endurance up. Yeah. They have 7 cards in their hand. They're down 3 Yawgmoths, but they do have a 4th one hiding in there somewhere. But if they just have it naturally, I can subtlety it. Although this might get dicey if they can sack a Geist and, get it with Eldritch Evolution. Or Chord for that matter. Because if they have Yawgmoth plus what's the card called? Zulport, then I might actually lose this game. I think. Yeah, I messed up pretty badly. I should have had lethal if I just. So what I should have done was played a land from my hand, and then get the last trigger, and then play the second Omnath, keep the new Omnath, and then just try to spike lands off of the Risen Reef triggers. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Because I just missed 3 damage the way that I did it. Or 4 damage. So they have Chord for 1. Elemental. Mental. So they're cording for 1. I wonder if they're going to try and deck me. Maybe. Oh, and now the Mariners die. Okay, this was really bad. This game, I messed this game up really badly. I think I should have won this game if I just kept if I just did the Omnath first. But yeah, because now that I don't have the Mariners in play, now I can die to the Yawgmoth combo. Whereas before I wouldn't have been able to. So this is really bad. I mean, again, I just have to hope that they have the Yawgmoth in hand, that I can subtlety it, and they don't have a second way to go find it. That's my way out. I don't have high hopes about this game, though. This has been a tough game. I was in spots in this game where I couldn't lose, but I definitely missed the keeping. I should have again played the third, gotten the third trigger off of the first Omnath before playing the new Omnath. That's where I messed up for sure. Okay, green. Wall of Roots resolves. That I can live with. Well, if they pass, we should be able to kill them, right? Green, colorless. Alright. Man. Man, so close. I guess they're at 4. So maybe they can't kill me? Because they only have a couple activations of Yawgmoth before they die. But obviously they could just have the Cutthroat, right? What a wild game. What an absolutely wild game. Alright, they're choosing to activate Yawgmoth. Okay, draw a card. And now if they find the Cutthroat, I can just Subtlety it. Oh, wow, this is actually disgusting. It might actually be good now. No way. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I definitely deserve to lose that game because I messed up with the Omnath, because they should have been dead that last turn, but whew, that was a wild game, let's say that. Okay. Game 2. Gotta pick up the pace a little bit. We're both really low on time. I think Rebel Arc is kind of slow. Foundation Breaker's meh. Fury's good. How good is Endurance against them? It like kind of breaks up the combo, sort of, but maybe it's just a card that I only want one copy of. Maybe minus a voice for a second one. Alright, we'll try this. We shall try this. I think Subtlety is not bad, but I don't know if it's a card I want all 4 copies of, so I think we'll go ahead with the 3 copies for now. I think I'd rather have more Furies and more Solitudes. Ephemerate, Reef, 5 lands. I gotta ship this, I think. Okay, the Sand plays. Sand is turn 1 Harbinger. Maybe. I might want to save it for the Fury. Okay, now I can Harbinger. Get Risen Reef. And then if they overextend, then we can go turn 2 Fury, kill some stuff. You pretty much always want to get Risen Reef, though. Because that's how you get the engine flowing. Maybe there's an argument for getting Mariner there, but... Alright, so they'll probably take the Fury. Right? They know we put a Reef on top, so they know if they take Fury, we can't cast it. So that makes sense. Okay. Yep, 17. Play voice. There's maybe some arguments to holding on to the voice. Oh, I should have attacked. Just point of damage. Maybe some arguments for holding on to the voice, because I want more triggers with Risen Reef, but I kind of don't mind just curving out. If they attack with this, I'll probably just trade. Because the voice trigger, like, the voice's ability of them casting a spell on my turn is not worth a lot. Alright, they have 3 cards. Kind of assume they have a Yawgmoth, or access to a Yawgmoth with Court of Calling / Evolution. I guess they can't Court this turn, but they can Evolution, sack the Geist, get Yawgmoth. "32 minutes in, huh? Yeah, it looks like Evolution. Okay. So that's a Yawgmoth. We're kind of in a bad spot. You get basically 2 shots at finding a red card to pitch to cast Fury. But if we miss, then we're in trouble. We are definitely in trouble if we miss. I wonder if they're going to kill the Harbinger now. Oh, right now they can just attack. Good chump block. I'll just take it. There is something to be said about keeping your life total as high as possible, because as long as your life total is higher than your opponent's, it's harder for them to like Yawgmoth kill you with Messenger if they don't have the Drain Life guy. But the other thing about waiting to block is I get an Elemental when this dies, which triggers Reef. So if I play Reef this turn, I guess there's a good chance they just end up killing the Reef with Yawgmoth, but we really need to find a red card. Or I guess white card plus Solitude. Alright, they're in the tank. In the tank. Alright. They decided to do nothing, which are a subtlety. A little late to the party. Alright, fetch for a basic. Get a plains for ephemerate purposes. Blue, green, white. Give me a red card. We need a red card. Drum roll, please. Did we find a red card? What do we got? Waiting on our opponent again. Red card, please. I'm not asking for much. Just a red card. That's all. They're cracking a fetch. Okay. I'm not sure why they're responding to this trigger. It's kind of a weird time to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Red card. There we go. Alright, red card acquired. I have to kill this Yawgmoth. Do not have a choice. Do not have a choice. Wonder if they're going to sack anything. Honestly, they probably don't. They probably just want to keep these two. Yeah. Alright, no attacks. This time I think I'm going to chump block. Maybe I'll take one more hit and try and spike another Risen Reef. So they're on 2 lands and a Hierarch. I guess they could just go tap 3 land Sackgeist with Evolution if they have another one of those. Alright, land 4. Land 4, what do we got? What do we got? Green colors, wall of roots. Okay. So they're going to go counter on wall, tap Hierarch, tap land, evolution, sack wall. No, Young Wolf. Okay. Acceptable. Alright, our Bones Clock has hit the red. We're kind of doing well on time, but we also just haven't really taken that many game actions. I think it's worth taking this in case I draw exactly Reef, because I'm so low on cards that I kind of need to draw Reef to get back in this anyways. That's not bad either. That gives us a double block next turn. We're just kind of chilling. Playing defense until we find a Reef. Although we might just be dead. Green, green, green. Okay. That's a Yawgmoth. See if they find the piece that kills me. They need to find a messenger or a cord. I guess they can't cast messenger, right? Oh, they haven't played a land, have they? No, they haven't. Okay. Alright, messenger. Go to 6. I'll skip through this part and we'll go to sideboarding. Alright, back here, sideboarding for game number 3. I know that these 8 are bad. Fulminator and Breaker are not where I want to be. I still think Revelark is too slow. Obviously not going to bring in the Kahira, so it's really just these 4 cards. I think 2 endurance is the right number. I'm not a huge fan of voice. Subtlety is kind of whatever. Because like the thing about subtlety is they have, obviously it's good if it's like decent against Yawgmoth, but they also have evolution and cord to find Yawgmoth, so it's not like you're always going to be able to tag Yawgmoth. So I think this is a good setup. All right, game 3. Reveal Kahira. We got a 1-lander, but we do have Solitude Ephemerate. Is that good enough? No, I don't think so. Well, now we have Solitude, no Ephemerate. I'm going to go to 5. Going to 5 with an Ephemerate deck is kind of tough, but... Okay, this hand plays. Put back Voice and Omnath. I think I'd rather keep the Ephemerate in case I draw. what you call it? Solitude. Ignoble Hierarch is fine. So now we can get probably Temple Guard Hallowed Fountain. Seems fine. How about another Ephemerate? Okay. Play a Mariner. Second copy of Ephemerate is not great. But the Mariner might buy us a little time in terms of not being able to, like, not getting combo killed by the Messenger. So we might be able to buy some time that way. Need to find some gas, though. Preferably Solitude. Solitude is, I think, our single best draw, because we have Ephemerate. But other than that... Alright, we'll take the 3. How about Endurance? Nah, I'm not going to cast that. I will leave up the voice back to block, and I will take the trade if they offer it. Alright, Urborg, Yawgmoth. Definitely taking this block. That's a good block for me. I mean, it's not like an insano block, but because they get their thing back. What's this? Fatal Push, the Mariner. Okay. Pay a mana. Yeah. Yeah, the Thoughtseize. Probably taking Endurance. Yeah. Okay. Go. Should put Kahira in my hand. Always forget about the Kahira. Alright, Kahira, go. Kahira can trade for the other half of this, maybe. So makes this a 3-3, which is not irrelevant. So Messenger, we go to 11. Then we go to 7. Okay, it's dicey. They have 1 card left. That is what we needed. Alright, let's go... Yeah, let's just do this now, I think. So let's kill this. Trigger on the stack. Ephemerate it. Kill the Geist. Then we can attack for 2. Now we're in a pretty good spot. Like I say, we were kind of just a Solitude away from being back in this game. And that is the power of Solitude Ephemerate. We went from, miles behind on board to now we're going to kill everything because we get to blink this again on upkeep. They have a Dryad Arbor. Okay. So Yawgmoth. Looks like it. So we're going to go to target the Solitude. They're probably going to sack the Arbor and the Hierarch, if I had to guess. Because they kind of have to, right? If they don't, then they just lose the Yawgmoth. So I assume they're going to be killing the Solitude here. I guess I could have pitched the Kahira and kept the other Solitude to player on this. Oh, they're going to let me kill the Yawgmoth. That's interesting. Huh. So they're prioritizing killing the Elemental? That's odd. I feel like they would rather just keep the Yawgmoth in play now. Alright, play Kahira. Little beatdowns. Little beatdowns. Huh, I wonder why they didn't kill the Solitude there. That's a wall. That's a Hierarch. It's their last card. Strangle Rootgeist. Okay. Take 3. Because this thing has Vigilance and Lifelink, so I can race that. I'm going to play super safe and just hold up Solitude, I think. Just going to play super duper safe. We're kind of in a pretty good position, so just going to try and make it so that they don't really have any good top, any live top decks. So they get to block the Solitude here. Alright, we'll attack first. Get the chump block here. No blocks. Okay. It's Risen Reef. And with the Solitude up, I feel pretty safe here. I feel like it's going to take a lot from them to get out of this. So they have a Yawgmoth, which is fine because again we have Solitude, so that's not that bad. They're targeting Kahira. Okay, sure. Oh, I guess I could have responded and targeted the Yawgmoth. Yeah, so I should have responded here. Yeah, I messed that up. I should have responded to the first sack. Okay, well, I guess they've had enough. That was an incredibly long match. I do think that we are probably a decent-sized favorite, and I think I messed up game one. We still got pretty lucky to win that game. They bricked off. Game two, we kind of got rolled. And then this game, we mulled to 5, and we were kind of in a pretty bad spot, but then we drew Solitude, and everything kind of worked out. So, hope you enjoyed the games. I know that was pretty long if you made it all the way to the end. Thank you for sticking with me in that crazy long match. But we got one round left. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 5. All right, YouTube. After that marathon affair of round number 4, we're here for the last round. Let's see what we are up against. Up against the Luris deck. Sounds pretty good. I want to keep it. It's a question of do I want to Harbinger for Risen Reef on turn 1? It is a little risky because we don't have land 3 for Reef. So in theory, we go Cavern, Harbinger, get Reef. Turn 2, we play a 2-drop. And then even if we brick on a land, we could still play the other 2-drop. So I think it's okay. It's also super high upside. Like, Risen Reef is the best card in our deck, so I'm just going to get it. Because the failsafe of missing is we still get to play another 2-drop, so it's not too bad. Maybe against Luris, I'm just supposed to get Solitude there. Yeah, I could see that too. Maybe getting Solitude is just correct. But, like, imagine we get Solitude and they just take Ephemerate. It's kind of awkward. I will definitely take this trade. I know they're not going to take it, but I'll take it. I also think I'm just going to play Mariner here. Because it makes it less likely. I'm also going to get basic planes. And the only land that doesn't cast Reef is Sacred Foundry. I want to get basic planes because they could be playing Scourge of the Skyclave, so I want to keep my life total a little high. And yeah, we're going to play Mariner. The reason I want to play Mariner is because it incentivizes them less to play Thoughtseize this turn. And if they don't play Thoughtseize, then I draw a land, then I can just slam Reef. So that's why I'm doing it this way. They might just pay 2 for a Thoughtseize, they might pay 2 for a Fatal Push. Alright, so they are choosing the Inquisition, because they realize they kind of have to take the Reef. They kept the card on top, so I assume this is taking Reef, right? Unless they just want to gamble on me not drawing a land. They don't know the top card, though, because they bobbled me, and then I shuffled, so... I will block. Okay, okay. So let's go attack, attack. I'm going to get a Forest, and then I'm going to play Voice, but I'm going to hold up the Plains. They know about the Ephemerate, but I'm still going to hold it up. This just makes it impossible for them to kill our creatures, because if they go to kill a creature, they have to pay an additional mana, and then we can just Ephemerate whatever they kill. And if they tap out, I can just target my Harbinger. Could even fetch him response. Yeah, I'll let it go. I kind of want to just draw a land, to be honest with you. I don't mind drawing a land for Omnath. But they're kind of in an awkward spot here with the Mariner and the voice, and they know about the Ephemerate. Okay, so they're gonna pay. See if they hit Delirium off of this. They did. Okay. So now they have 2 cards. So now I could Ephemerate the Harbinger, let them take the Omnath and put Risen Reef on top, and then just cast Risen Reef. Or what if I got Endurance? So Ephemerate the Harbinger, put Endurance on top, let them take Omnath, take 3, go to 15, untap, choose not to cast the Ephemerate, attack with everything, and then if they block, I can Endurance their graveyard away. I actually kind of like that. I think that line's good. I think that line is good. It's the one Endurance coming in the main deck coming up in spots you would not expect it. Yeah, I like that line a lot. Because they're at 8, they lose Delirium. They don't have a good block. I'm just going to choose to not cast the Ephemerate. I mean, they know about the Endurance too, so. Yeah, this is a good line. Yeah, so they have to take the trade and go to 4. But then I'm just, like, kind of crushing them on board. I guess they could be playing with Death Shadow. Should make this maybe a little awkward. Because now I just made their shadows pretty big. Yeah, okay. They're at 4. It's not the best draw. Let's do this. Pass. No attacks. So, are we dead to TBR? Not necessarily, no, because we can just block with voice. So we shouldn't be dead to TBR. They're bolting the Mariner. Okay. Alright, Mariner down. They kept the card on top. They have a Thoughtseize for the Gahira? They go to 1? Maybe. Oh, they have a Shadow? I should probably take my block with the voice while I can, right? I think so. Yep. Well, what do I need to draw? Not really sure. Let's get Steam Vents. Would be a good draw here. Definitely not Temple Garden. It's not an elemental, it's a cat beast. Never mind. Alright, I'm just going to cast it then. So I could trade Channeler for one of my creatures. That does not seem very good. Alright, go. If the last card's TBR, we're dead. And it kind of feels like it probably is. Okay. Seven. Prismatic Ending. They're at 2. And now we have to chump block. I don't think we have any outs. Oh, actually we do. Solitude is an out, because Solitude would kill both their things. Oh, they're at 2? Oh, no. So close. So close. Alright, game 2. Game 2. Did not draw Solitude. As good as Endurance was that game, I think it's kind of narrow in terms of when it comes up. Revelark seems decent. I don't know. Foundation Breaker's meh. I really don't like Subtlety in these matchups either, but keeping the Fury in a second Endurance. Yeah, let's try this. No, no, no. Yeah, this seems fine. I think Subtlety is my worst of the bunch between Solitude and Fury. And Endurance is like okay, the body's okay, it blocks Dragon's Rage Channeler, and the ability comes up from time to time because they're a Channeler Luris deck, so. Alright, reveal Kahira. That was a close game. Very, very close game. I do have the best card in the matchup in my hand. I really just don't like mulliganing against Thoughtseize decks. When it comes to playing against Thoughtseize decks, I tend to prefer just quantity over quality. Just the sheer number of resources because they're just like mono discard spells. So I tend to favor just keeping any hand that's remotely reasonable in matchups like this. And this hand at least does some things. It's not great, but alright, we're getting Thoughtseized. Rude. Sure, same thing. That one at least can't take Solitude, so they have to take Voice, I would assume, pretty easily. Wait, they took Endurance? Huh? Just okay. I guess they have Ending for Voice. Okay, sure, I'll take it. It's kind of weird. Maybe they have Croxa? Croxa would make sense. Okay. Well, if they had another discard spell, wouldn't they just take the Voice first and then the Endurance the next turn? I don't know. I don't know. Check. Oh, crap. I always forget about the stupid Kahira. It's super relevant too because of the Solitude. Yeah, I don't know why I always forget about that. I need to like pop it up. The only companion I ever remember is when I'm playing with Luris. It never fails. Sacred Foundry. Okay. Green, white, red, blue. So we'll just play this. Get planes, play Omnath. Blue, red, green, white. Ooh, that was a good draw. Alright, deuce. Feeling pretty good about this game. I should have a Kahira in my hand, but, you know, it is what it is. So they basically have to take Solitude here. Yeah. Still kind of awkward. They can't really play it unless they have a fetch land. They can't really play a Death Shadow into the Omnath. Okay. They do have a fetch land. Um. Hmm. Man. Not having this Kahira is, I don't know how relevant Kahira would be here, though. Oh, this is tough. So I can play Omnath and dome them for 3. And they go to 6. Then they can fetch to 3. So the most they could put themselves hypothetically to if they had another shock land. Omnath puts them to 6. Then they fetch shock to 3, shock to 1. That's 24. So I'd have to put 8 toughness in front to go to 1, which would be my entire board. That's not very good. What if I just played Mariner and pass? Then just like eat the Death Shadow hit, even if they go fetch shock. I guess if they fetch shock twice, then that's 20, right? 4, 7, 10, 20. So I just chump block with Omnath and go to 1. mean, no one of the cards in their hand is Luris. Yeah, this lets me keep up Ephemerate too. Not that that's terribly relevant, but all right, let's guess this. I don't want to tap out for the other Omnath because I kind of want to wait till I have another land to hold up Ephemerate. All right, we'll just pass. And they chose not to fetch. It's an interesting spot. So the most they can do is 4. I guess if they had Bolt plus TBR, Bolt themselves go to 3 TBR. Am I supposed to play around Bolt plus TBR? I don't think so. Looks like they have it. It's unfortunate. Maybe I am. But if I block and they don't have Bolt, then I just chump block. Okay. Alright. Go to 10. Yeah. 2 cards, one of which is a Luris. Okay. They're at 6. If I end step blink the Omnath, bait them into using a removal spell, and then I can maybe untap it, just slam the other Omnath, put them to 3, and attack them for lethal. Like, I don't really care if they kill the Omnath with the Ephemerate, because the whole point is just... Yeah, I think that's good. This just cycles. I think this is good. I don't really care if they kill it. Red. Not red. Hmm? Kind of feels like they have a removal spell. Sure. Okay. Whatever. Oh, I guess we don't have lethal because we're 1 short, right? Because I didn't have this damn Kahira. So I can do this, put them to 3, attack with both, they block here, go to 1. Man. Alright, well their last card's Luris, so I can just put them to 3, double chump block, and hope they brick. But yeah, if I... Yeah, I actually lost this game because I didn't put the Kahira in my hand. Because if I had Kahira, if I had put Kahira in my hand the turn before, I would have played Kahira instead of the Mariner, and this would have been a third power. And this would have been a lethal attack if I had Kahira. So I did actually lose this game because I just forgot to put my Kahira in my hand. That's funny. Yeah, I deserve that. Really, really unfortunate. Game that I definitely should have won, but I threw away. This deck's hard to play. Well, that's not going to do it. Okay, 3 and 2. Bit of an unfortunate ending to the league. Deck felt okay. I don't really have a ton of thoughts on it, but if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I really hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been a long one, so I'm going to cut it short here. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.